Good afternoon, dear children. Today our topic for discussion is digestion of carbohydrates. So last class we have discussed about the definition, classification and the functions of carbohydrates, right? So now we will see the digestion, how carbohydrates are digested in the body. So before that, what is digestion? Yes, it is the process by which the food particles are broken down into smaller particles and it can be made into absorbed by the body. Okay. And now let me give you the different digestive system parts. Okay, so digestive system includes the mouth, the esophagus, that is the food tube, and that enters into the stomach. So the stomach has got 4 sections. Remember, stomach has got 4 sections. The first section is the cardiac. Second section, here you can see the second section is the fundus, and we have the body and the pylorus. The pylorus is the last, which opens into the small intestine. The small intestine contains 3 different sections. Okay, the first section is the duodenum. Remember, this duodenum. Second section here in the center you can see it is the jejunum, and the third part is the ileum. Okay, ileum. So the ileum opens into the large intestine, where it again contains 3 sections. Okay, so here there's the ascending colon, the transverse colon and the descending colon, and that enters into the rectum and the anal. So this is the ventral side of the digestive system, and here it is the dorsal side. So beneath the stomach you can see the pancreas. Okay, this pancreas, any pancreatic secretions will be poured into the small intestine, then the duodenum part of the small intestine using the pancreatic duct. Okay, so here you can see the kidneys and you can see the spleen here. So liver will be here. Okay, are you clear with this? So these are the parts of the digestive system. Okay, so you have to understand that there are sections in the stomach and the small intestine. Okay, and now we will move on to the digestion process. So central digestion process has got 3 different segments. That is the mechanical digestion, the chemical or the enzymatic digestion, and the hormonal digestion. So as far as the carbohydrate digestion is concerned, we have mechanical digestion and the enzymatic digestion. So what is mechanical digestion? So when you take the food through the mouth will chew the food. So that is a form of mechanical digestion. So it will be chewed and swallowed, and it enters into the esophagus, where the peristaltic movement propels the food into the stomach. So the stomach, we have different sections, right? So there the segmental mixing occurs. So due to the segmental mixing and the peristaltic movement, the food is again propelled into the small intestine. So the small intestine also got different segments, right? So there again you can see the segmental mixing and the propulsion. So the food will get digested in these parts, and the undigested material will be excreted via large intestine. So this is the mechanical digestion. So now you should know what are the different forms of mechanical digestion, right? So these are, yes, chewing, swallowing, the peristaltic movement and the propulsion. And what is the next one? Can anybody? Yes? Yes, it is the segmental mixing. So these are the 5 forms of mechanical digestion. Are you clear with this? Yes? Okay. And next is the enzymatic or the chemical digestion. So this is accomplished by the intestinal juice called succus entericus. It is secreted by the small intestine, and this contains different components, and as you can see, I am going to concentrate on the amylolytic enzymes. So amylolytic, the term describes that the enzymes which are responsible for the breakdown of sugars. Here amylose is the carbohydrate and lysis means what? It is breakdown. So breakdown of carbohydrates, right? So these are sucrase, maltase, lactase, and we have the dextrinase and trehalase. There are 5 amylolytic enzymes which are secreted by the small intestine. That is the succus entericus. Are you clear with this? So far we have discussed what is digestion, what are the parts involved in digestion, yes, and you know what are the forms of mechanical digestion, what is succus entericus and its enzymes. Are you clear with this? Okay, what next is the enzymes. That is, you have to know the origin of production of enzymes which are involved in the digestion. So I told you succus entericus. There are other enzymes like amylase, that is the enzymes which are all responsible for carbohydrate digestion or amylolytic enzymes. When it is secreted by the saliva, it contains salivary amylase. It is also known as ptyalin. Okay, here the P is silent. It is ptyalin. Okay, And the small intestine we have seen succus entericus is there, and that secretes as the disaccharidases. Okay. Similarly, pancreas also secretes pancreatic juice which contains amylopsin. It is also called as pancreatic amylase. When it is secreted in the saliva, it is salivary amylase. When it is secreted by the pancreas, it is pancreatic amylase. So, amylolytic enzymes are a group of enzymes which are secreted by saliva, then pancreas and the small intestine. So, put it in a nutshell. So, we need two enzymes, that is the amylase enzyme and the disaccharidases, which are needed for carbohydrate digestion. Okay, so next we will move on to the actual process of digestion. Okay, so in the carbohydrate digestion, as you take the food through mouth, it enters into the stomach, it enters into the small intestine. So in all these three parts, both the mechanical and the chemical digestion takes place. Clear? Okay. So here you can see, so when you take the food through the mouth, mechanical digestion is the chewing or the mastication occurs, which breaks the food into smaller particles, right? So it is called as bolus. So the chewed food along with the saliva is called as bolus. So that bolus is there, where the alpha amylase is also in the saliva. So that brings the pH of the food to 6.8 to 7. Okay, and this food enters into the stomach where peristaltic movement, segmental mixing takes place, and stomach contains, and a very important thing, stomach secretes a gastric juice and the hydrochloric acid. So that makes the pH of the food to 6.8 to 1.5. It makes the food highly acidic. So the enzyme which is present in the gastric juice, that is the amylase, is a very weak one. So here the digestion is very negligible, and this enters into the pancreas. So here in the this enters into the small intestine, and here the pancreatic amylase and succus entericus are there, and that acts on the different components of carbohydrates. So all these components like polysaccharides, like starch, and we have disaccharides like isomaltose, maltose, lactose, sucrose. All these are contains and a linkage called alpha 1,4 glycosidic linkage. Okay, and remember it is alpha 1,4 glycosidic linkage. This is again digestible or broken down by the human enzymes in the human body, whereas the cellulose, it is a complex carbohydrate, you know. Other forms like hemicellulose, lignin all contains beta 1,4 glycosidic linkages. Okay, so to break down this glycosidic linkage, our body requires cellulase. What it is? Cellulase. So this cellulase cannot be secreted in our body, and hence the cellulose, hemicellulose and lignins remain undigested in the body. Did you get the concept? Because of the absence of cellulase enzyme in the body, complex carbohydrates cannot be digested, and hence it will be excreted in the system. Okay. So other compounds like starch acted upon by amylase, both saliva and the pancreatic amylase, and converts into maltose and isomaltose. And these disaccharides will be acted upon by different disaccharidases, which we have seen in the succus entericus. So maltose, isomaltose, dextrin, sucrose and lactose will be acted upon by different enzymes, its corresponding enzymes, and produces monosaccharides like glucose, glucose, fructose and galactose. Okay. So now you might wonder, ma'am, where does the trehalase go? So trehalase actually, it will act only on the trehalose sugar, which is present in the mushroom and yeast. So whenever you take mushroom and yeast, your body will automatically produce trehalase, and it will act on trehalose and it will convert that into glucose. So from this you should know that the end product of glucose digestion is the galactose, fructose and the glucose. Let me quickly summarize the digestion of carbohydrates. So it starts from the mouth with the saliva having salivary amylase, converts polysaccharides into disaccharides, and the disaccharides will enter into the stomach where the gastric juice is secreted containing HCl. It will make the food highly acidic and also makes weak amylase, and so the digestion is very negligible, and this highly acidic food enters into the small intestine where the pancreatic juice and succus entericus are there. So those enzymes will act upon its corresponding substrate, the polysaccharides as well as the disaccharides, and convert that into its corresponding monosaccharides. So the end products of digestion are, you are correct, is glucose, fructose and galactose. Questions like what is digestion, what is a mechanical digestion, what is bolus, what is succus entericus, what are the different enzymes which are needed, what are amylases and what are disaccharidases, and what is the appropriate pH necessary for the carbohydrate digestion. Right, are you clear with this? And here comes the activity. So for the next class, before you come for the next class, you have to get the answers for factors affecting digestion of carbohydrates and the rate of digestion of different foods, especially carbohydrate foods. Right, so this is the activity for today's class. So go prepare well, and if you have any doubts, you can ask me. Right? Okay. Thank you.